Good morning, Lions! I'm your host, Christian Stewart, and welcome to the Stew. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now for a moment of silent meditation. And now let's get into a Mindful Monday.
What do you understand about self-care?
Self-care, I understand is about, it's a hard question.
Alright, so what do you understand about self-care?
I know it's very important, especially when you're a teenager, especially in high school, with a bunch of peers and
like he was saying, it's very important if you're a teenager, especially like starting at 13 years old from when you're an adult even. It can be very emotionally damaging, depending what you deal with.
What do you understand about self-care?
What I understand that it could be emotionally and physically.
What do you understand for self-care?
Well, taking care of yourself.
Taking care of yourself.
That's straightforward. And
What do you do for self-care emotionally?
Emotionally, to take care of my self-care, I usually take a certain amount of time during my day to check how I'm doing and just to check in with myself to see if there's anything in my day that went wrong, and I use that time to reflect upon it. Physically, I make sure that I know that my hygiene, any type of like self-care that I do to maintain myself is done thoroughly throughout the day, just to check in with myself and make sure that I'm doing good.
So then what do you do for self-care physically and emotionally?
Physically, I'll go for a run around my park, the park around my house. And like mentally, I'll like probably like try to focus on other things, like maybe game something to get my mind off it.
Alright, so what do you do for self-care emotionally and physically?
well, physically I play basketball. That's just like since I was a kid, I was an athlete, so I'd love to just shoot some hoops basically. And then emotionally, listen to music, stay at home, talk to your parents or something just to cope.
Yeah, me too. I usually do sports and football, especially. I like to go with friends to disconnect what is going on, that especially with school or like at home.
Physically, I go to practice and I work out, and it just makes me feel good about myself and my body. And mentally, I tend to journal a lot and write down how I feel throughout the day.
I just go play soccer with my friends or with my team and listen to music as well.
How do you do to take care of yourself, mentally and physically?
We do what we need for our lives. What
we want to do.
what we
I mean,
wanna
a
do,
lot
of
of
course.
people live their lives not knowing what they want to do. I know what I want to do, and I express that, and I indulge in that, and that's good because it puts me in a state of mind where I'm expressing my passions. And it's good to express your passions because I don't want to hide behind a mask.
How do you pick yourself up when you're feeling down?
You can. I think it depends on the situation. I mean, some situations will require other things to remind yourself or to sort of like view it in a different perspective.
What do you do?
For instance, you can draw if you like drawing. You can listen to music, dance, whatever would basically like distract you from wherever is bothering you.
What about
play
you?
games, I guess. Stick with your friends because really your friends are your family.
That's not what I think that ignorance is not bliss, right? So you can be ignorant of your problems. You can try to forget about it and play something else. But I don't do that. I try to tackle my problems and understand why I feel bad or why I'm facing something. And I try to solve that issue that way.
When you're feeling down, how do you pick yourself up?
I try to forget it. I try like not to think about it too much and continue on.
For me, I like to entertain myself with things. I will play video games, or I just reflect, and it'll help me think about what I've done. It helps boost my spirit, and I also like doing sports every now and then. That helps motivate me.
Same question for you, girl.
I would say that a job needs to get done. I need to go do something, motivate myself in some sort of way, go to the gym, do something active to make myself feel better.
Last question is, how do you pick yourself up when you're feeling down?
I do it by going running or taking a nap and just not thinking about stuff and playing music.
Same way I cope with my emotions and physically. I just play basketball. I think. Thinking's a lot. You can really get in touch with your emotions and bring yourself up.
My go-to is always playing football or basketball, listening to music by myself. I like to concentrate on myself and just deal with whatever I have going on in my head, and usually I get through it.
Grab a soccer ball, go outside, and just have fun.
In general news, on Friday, the Supreme Court started looking into Joe Biden's vaccine rules for businesses more closely to see if it can be overturned or not. Additionally, over 40 stores of Bed Bath & Beyond are being closed in the coming weeks. This is part of a plan made in 2020 to close 200 stores within 2 years. You know, it's 2022, so 2 years have passed. So I'm pretty sure these are the last few stores that are going to be closing. To my knowledge, there's none Miami that will be closing. So it'll be one Orange County, and that's the only one in Florida that's closing. Additionally, did you know that new technology has arrived, I guess, that made it so you could trace people's DNA through the air they breathe? And now for the morning announcements. Did you guys know that the TV Pro Club now has a bulletin board? There's a picture of it right now on screen. If you see it and take a picture with it, you can send it to the email that is right now on screen to get a chance to be in next week's stew. Additionally, auditions for the teacher versus student lipstick battle will start tomorrow. Make sure to drop by. It is available to all faculty and students. And the tickets for the actual show that will be the 28th of January are $2. So make sure to go. For sports, a lot of the basketball games that were supposed to happen last week were postponed to a later date. We're not exactly sure when, but here's a list of all the games that were postponed. There weren't that many, but there were a lot that were going to happen. Additionally, here are the scores for all the sports last week. I believe boys soccer won 2 games, one against a varsity opponent and the other one against another school, and there was a pretty big score gap. Honestly, it's fantastic. Love the boys soccer team. Additionally, girls basketball won against Carroll Park with a score of, I believe, 55-30 something. I was there to watch. I recommend you guys watch too. It was very interesting. And I believe some boys basketball games also happened. You'll see them all right now all around me on the screen. Additionally, a lot more games are going to be happening next week, which we don't know yet if they're going to be postponed. Hopefully they're not. They're, well, again, on screen. If you want to go to them, you can ask the basketball coach or whatever sports coach that is, well, of the sport that's right now on screen. For lunch, we'll be having some food. For the weather, it will probably snow in Miami for all we know. And seniors, please remember the last day to fill out your FAFSA is January 30th, at least with the assistance of Macho and Percy. So make sure to drop by the media center. And that's all for today. Thank you for watching this week's episode of The Stew, and we hope you have a fantastic week. And, you know, one of my friends made an invisible airplane. I can't see it taking off.